Good afternoon, all. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Deepa, and I'm the moderator for today's webinar on the topic UK higher education and career opportunities post-Brexit and COVID-19 pandemic. Obviously, there is not much of an introduction required for Dr. Abhilash Suryan. He is currently the Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering in College of Engineering, Trivandrum. He received his PhD from Andong National University, South Korea. He is an internationally renowned research scholar and the author of dozens of research publications. Adding to his list of many achievements, recently he has been selected as the KTU Researcher of the Year 2019 at APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. He has been integral to the success of hundreds of students. As you all know, Dr. Abhilash is an active member of CET's Alumni Association, having received his BTech, MTech degrees from CET. I will now hand over to Dr. Abhilash.
Thank you, Deepa. So let me start with a brief introduction about our institution, since students from other institutions might also be attending this webinar. I am actually an alumnus as well as a faculty member of College of Engineering, Trivandrum. It was established in 1939 as the first engineering college in the state of Kerala. It is one of the earliest engineering colleges in the whole of India also, maybe I think the 12th in India. It offers currently 8 undergraduate and 29 postgraduate different doctoral programs in engineering, architecture, computer applications, and management studies. We have nearly 4,000 students, nearly 300 faculty members, and nearly 300 non-teaching staff. We are currently ranked 85th among the engineering institutions in the National Institute ranking framework of Ministry of Human Resource Development India. We are one of the most sought after institutions in South India among the aspirants of engineering degree programs in the state of Kerala. So that is about ourselves. So we are very happy to host this webinar for the benefit of students from our institution as well as to other institutions who might be, especially under this lockdown, who might be looking for opportunities for better learning. So let me, with pleasure, introduce the speaker of the day, Sridhar Rao Sangha. He is the CEO and founder of the UK Academic Consultancy Limited. He is a certified counselor and the agent of the British Council with more than 2 decades of experience in financial project management in various sectors, including financial institutions, charities, media, pharmaceuticals, hospitality, and retail. In UK alone, Sridhar has successfully delivered projects from start to finish for several startups to top multinational companies in the past 20 years. Before relocating to UK 20 years ago, he was the regional business officer in charge of marketing operations in South India for nearly 5 years for a range of super specialty drugs in a multinational pharmaceutical company. He has trained numerous finance executives at global service centers while working for Ford Credit Europe Bank PLC and HSBC in the UK. He was equipped with a wide range of skills and a versatile managing people at various levels. So we are happy to have you here, Sridhar, and over to you. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Abhilash, for the introduction. Thank you so much, sir. Right, okay, bear with me 1 second. Yeah, as Dr. Abhilash said, thank you once again, Dr. Abhilash, for your introduction. My name is Sridhar Rao Sangha. I'm the CEO and founder of UK Academic Consultancy Limited. Well, this webinar today is precisely on UK higher education and career opportunities post-Brexit and COVID-19 pandemics. So I'll be taking you through a complete insight about UK higher education and the opportunities as well. So it will be roughly about between 1 to 1.5 hours, but this call of information on it, I will take you through very slowly so that, if you want to make notes or anyway, this presentation will be live on YouTube. for the students who join late or for any reasons. So it gives a complete insight about the UK higher education. For the students who are not much aware about United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, commonly known as the United Kingdom. It's called the UK. UK has got 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. London is the capital of England, and Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland. Cardiff, capital of Wales, and of course Belfast, capital of Northern Ireland. There are other major cities as well, like Birmingham, Glasgow, Leeds, Liverpool, and Manchester. While studying in the UK, about 500,000 international students from over 200 nations studied in the UK. UK education is the best choice for international students. It's a very popular destination, especially all over the world. On a single campus, you could find on a single campus you could find 150 different countries. Students from various countries, over 150 countries, contributing to its rich, diverse, and multicultural society. It's a very multi-faith society. Students from all religions are welcome in the UK. They make sure that you're very comfortable, especially religions of all faiths. If you can walk into any school, college, universities, or public places, hotels, hospitals, airports. All these have separate prayer rooms, so you could walk in any time and you can do your prayers at any time, 24 hours around the clock. So that's how you're welcome, of all religions and all faiths. And of course, internationally recognized qualifications. It's got the highest quality assurance in terms of worldwide standards, academic standards or education standards, industry and business relevance, which is more important because a lot of faculty in the universities at some point of time, they have had some practical work in the field they are teaching. So you get an insight from the faculty because they also have practical knowledge about the topic what they're choosing. So which is another good thing. 19% of international students study in UK institutions, and out of 19% of international students, 42% postgraduate research. So you can just imagine how UK is strong in terms of especially postgraduate research programs. It's very, very well-renowned universities. There are 42% of postgraduate research students from international community, and 30% are academics. 30% are academics, and there are various options: study for all or part of a university degree, and you can pick and choose. You can pick and choose a module and combine with other modules. You can cherry pick few modules, whatever is your interest. So you can do a part of degree, or you can do a complete degree, or you can combine the modules. There's excellent value for money. Why I'm saying it's excellent value for money? Because if you compare to America, Australia, and Canada, UK's postgraduate programs are one-year programs. So, but unlike Canada and some American universities and Australian universities, you probably have to do 1.5 year or 2 years. But in UK, it's a 1-year postgraduate program. So thereby you're spending less money, and also you're saving more money, and also it's the same value. And actually it's more value compared to any other universities. State-of-the-art facilities. This is, again, they have world-renowned laboratories, and the laboratories are world-renowned. And also in terms of libraries, they have a huge collection in terms of journals and articles, and also online content. So the state-of-the-art facilities are world-renowned, and they are actually they set a standard compared to other countries. International career preparation and development. This is one, again, important, especially for the students. Why UK university? Because the modules are designed in a way that they prepare you for international career preparation after you finish your program. Then if you wish to stay back in the UK and work, or if you want to move to some other country, then the modules are designed they will the course will prepare you in terms of international preparation and development. Student support. Every university has got a National Students Union, an SU, and every university you can just walk in. Any information you want about accommodation, about part-time work, about sightseeing, about any leisure, or you want to travel into Europe, or if you need any help, they probably will help you. They will have all the information, and they will take a personal approach. They will not say, okay, this we don't have, this we can't do, this we can't do. They'll take a personal approach, and they will address all your requirements. English language skills. As you know, England is mother of English language. You will find a lot of the advantages when you're studying. You can do part-time work during the term time, and you can do full-time work during the vacation. And you get an opportunity to work with a lot of native English people. So you have opportunity to improve your English language skills, not only at the work, but at the university as well. Now, choice of qualifications and career paths. There are hundreds and thousands of qualifications and career paths. More than 3,000 educational institutions welcoming international students in the UK. More than 86,000 courses can be assessed on Education UK website. So you name anything, they have it. These are some of the top UK postgrad subjects for international students. This data are picked up from HESA, which is a higher education students agency, statistics agency, sorry. How this is basically, they just collect the data in terms of the popular subjects, popular subjects studied by the international students. This data is 2017, 2018. You can see business administrative studies, economics, politics, sociology, engineering and technology, creative arts and design, law, education, computer science. All these are popular subjects. Computer science is very popular with Indian students, especially computer science. And you also have engineering and technology, business and administrative studies, economics. These are very popular with Indian students. Qualifications at all levels. You have schools, English language courses, vocational qualifications, pre-university and pathway programs, undergraduate, postgraduate, and professional qualifications. So you name any qualification, you have it. You can start from at school level and to postgraduate and even to a PhD level. So quality assurance. Quality assurance is one of the most important thing, especially in terms of UK education. A UK qualification is recognized and respected throughout the world. It's got one of the best quality assurance in the world. That is why UK programs are highly recognized in the world. Quality standards for UK institutions are among the highest in the world. There are 4 main regulatory bodies in the UK who recognize awarding organizations and their qualifications. So which are the main 4 regulatory bodies are Office of Qualifications Examinations Regulation, which is called Ofqual. Abbreviation is Office of Qualifications and Examinations Regulation. And this is basically for England, and also only in terms of Northern Ireland, they only do vocational qualifications. They regulate qualifications, exams, and assessments in England, and vocational qualifications in Northern Ireland. DCEL, the abbreviation is Department for Children, Education, Lifelong Learning and Skills. This is for Wales. Regulates general and vocational qualifications in Wales, not responsible for regulating university degrees. CCEA, the abbreviation is Council for the Curriculum, Examinations and Assessments, Northern Ireland. This is not vocational, Northern Ireland, and this does not regulate vocational qualifications. Responsible for regulations of general qualifications. And SQA, which is again Scottish Qualifications Authority, and that basically regulates Scotland. So these are the 4 main regulatory bodies in the UK. Now, national curriculum and inspection bodies. What are these national curriculum and inspection bodies? England curriculum is the national curriculum. Obviously, responsible government body is Department for Education. And of course, inspecting bodies are Ofsted, Office for Standards in Education, Children's Services and Skills. Northern Ireland, you have Northern Ireland Curriculum. Department of Education, Northern Ireland, which is also called DENI. Education and Training Inspectorate, Northern Ireland. Scotland, Curriculum for Excellence, Education Scotland, Wales National Curriculum for Wales, Education and Skills, and of course, Her Majesty's Inspectorate for Education and Training in Wales. Now, this is what is more important for you students. Why choose the UK for a postgraduate degree? Well, you have other countries, you have other universities, you have so many choices within the country as well. But why choose the UK for postgraduate degree? Number one is quality. The quality of the programs the UK universities run are quite high standard. Renowned research base. UK is well known for its renowned research base, industry and employer links and relevance. A lot of universities are linked with employers, and you get opportunity to, after you finish your post graduation, you get opportunity to go and work for an employer to find a job, because universities have links direct with the employers. And relevance, the relevance is like the faculty of the university, as I said, they all have practical experience at some point of time before starting their teaching in the university. So that will help as well. Highly focused shorter courses. The courses are very shorter. I said there's only 1 year MSc postgraduate. Any MSc postgraduate degree, especially in sciences or arts, is 1 year, 1 or 2 years, but most of them are 1 year. And MSc 1 year taught postgraduate programs are very popular among Indian students. You also have MBA. Some of the MBA programs are 1 year, some of them are 2 years. Now, support and investment. Support, you get plenty of support from university itself, and university runs a lot of scholarships as well. Apart from university, the UK government and charities run a lot of scholarships, which I'll take you through in my next slide. Career progression, which is very, very important. After you finish your post graduation, you go and work for a company. So there's opportunity for your career progression after you have worked in the UK for a couple of years. And if you move back to India or move any other country, there is a possibility of your career progression. Innovation and creativity. UK is well renowned for innovation and creativity. Making the right choice, which is very, very important, because postgraduate study is very intense. It challenges the student's intellect, academic ability, time, self-management, passion for a subject or research area. So it's very, very important when you make a choice, because number one, you're investing money, and number two, you're investing your time, valuable time. So you have to be prepared, because the postgraduate study in the UK is very intense, and it takes a lot of your time, a lot of hard work involved as well. Especially why you want to do a postgraduate, there might be various reasons. Gaining entry to a profession, you have just finishing your engineering and you want to gain entry into, like, accounting or finance or medicine or any of your choice, your field. So you do a master's, then automatically after your post-graduation, you are entering into a profession of your choice. Progression further in your career. If you finish your engineering and if you're already working for some organization in a particular field or area or sector, so you think you're not getting enough progression, so doing masters in the UK will help you in terms of for progressing further in your career. Developing research skills, which is very important. Again, research, UK, especially postgraduate taught programs are well renowned in terms of, so doing a master's will obviously develop research skills. Further specialization in a particular area. You're already working in a particular field. For example, you're working in sales and marketing. You want to specialize in that area, so you go and do a master's, so that it will help you to shape your career. Changing the career occupation. If you think you're doing something else which you don't like it, you want to change your career, that's another opportunity. Do your masters in the UK of your chosen subject, then again you will have a good career. Course content and including core modules. As I said, course content is very it's industry design, industry specific, industry relevance, so that after you finish, after you finish you can choose the core modules, and after you finish your post graduation degree, the motive is you find a job. So the course content is designed especially in terms of industry relevance. Institution reputation and department ranking. Whenever you choose a university, it's important you have to see uh, where what I mean what ranking the institution is, especially on the UK universities list or world rankings list, and also department ranking. Some of the universities, there might be tier one universities, but the department what you're looking, they may not be they may not be well around for that. There might be some tier 2, tier 3 universities, but they have specialism in some of the departments. So you also have to look into that before making a decision which university, which course. The timetable, especially they need to fit in part-time work, because when you work in you work along, and also you work along as well. Part-time work is allowed during term time, and full-time work is allowed during vacation. So you also have to choose a university and a program if you wish to work part-time. If, for example, you're taking a very time consuming and a serious or research qualification, you may not get time because you're busy with your coursework and modules and exam preparation. So you may not get time to work even part-time. So you also have to see what course you're choosing and how you're planning it if you wish to work in the UK. External course validation, example, accreditation by a professional body. This is very important. Um, for example, you want to choose, you want to study accounting, finance, or economics. So your program, your postgraduate program, right, will have accreditation by a professional body like CIMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, or ACCA, so certified accountant. So you will get the accreditation, so which is helpful for you, especially in your career. Entry requirements, you have to find the entry requirements. I'll go through in the next slide what are the entry requirements. But if you think you haven't got enough entry requirements, there are foundation programs. You can do the foundation program for a year. Then once you clear the foundation program, then you'll be eligible for the university. Fees and funding, very important. You have to see again, choose a university which fits in your budget, whatever is your budget. And of course, funding, I said there are a lot of scholarships provided by the university itself, and also UK government, and also the charities, UK charities as well, which I'll take you through in my next slide. Employment prospects, obviously, whatever you choose, end of the day, you have to see that will you be employed after that? Is this course useful? Can you find a job? So it's very important. The reason is simple, because you spend a lot of time and a lot of money, so you want to be well placed. That is the end result, to be honest. So you have to choose a university and course. Think about employment prospects. Every university will have statistics which will show how many percentage of their students got placed in past 1 year or 2 years. I'll show the statistics. Student satisfaction ratings, which are very important. Again, on university website, they will show you what is the student satisfaction ratings in terms of teaching, in terms of facilities, in terms of resource, in terms of practical teaching. So you get a real true picture. Professors, research supervisors, tutors, and their professional practice. This is also very important. As I said, some universities, they might be in tier 2 or tier 3, but their departments, the professors and the supervisors and the tutors have gained a reputation for themselves. And some of the tier 1 universities, some of the departments may not have that experience. But when the rankings are given, they're given overall. Okay. Let's have a look. These are the World University Rankings 2021, Times Higher Education. World University Rankings as per Times Higher Education. University of Oxford, funny enough, UK is such a small island compared to big countries, huge countries like USA, Canada, and Australia. UK has got 11 universities in top 100. 11 universities in top 100. That's amazing. USA has got 37 universities in top 100. Canada, only 5 universities. And Australia, only 6 universities in top 100. So again, for such a small island, 11 universities, that speaks volumes about the UK higher education. It's actually is par with the global standards. It sets the standards. As you can see, University of Oxford, it ranks #1 in the world, and it's the 5th time consecutively they are ranking #1 in the world. University of Oxford, and of course Cambridge, University of Cambridge. You have heard about University of Cambridge. It ranks #6. Imperial College London ranked 11. UCL ranked 16. And London School of Economics and Political Science ranked 27. University of Edinburgh ranked 30. King's College London ranked 35. Manchester 51. Warwick 77. Bristol 91. And Glasgow 92. So that speaks volumes of UK higher education. Now, there's another survey done by Guardian, which is again another well-renowned media company. They do every year. The best UK universities in 2021, or you can see Oxford, St Andrews, Cambridge, Durham, London School of Economics, Bath, Loughborough, Warwick, Imperial College, Lancaster, Bristol, Glasgow, Edinburgh, UCL, Strathclyde, York, Exeter, Leeds, Dundee, Aberdeen. You can see there's the rating is done. It's a very vigorous and very stringent criteria they have when they rate a university. They have various parameters: satisfied with course, satisfied with teaching, or they're satisfied with the feedback, and student to staff ratio, spend per student, how much they're spending in terms of resources and facilities, average entry tariff, value added score, career after 15 months. So this is very, very important, career after 15 months. So if you're placed once you join the union, if you're placed after 15 months, I think that's fantastic. So there's about, I'm not going to go through all these universities, but if you want this, I can share with you later. Right. Master level programs. What kind of master level programs do we have? Master of Arts, MA. MA degrees are generally 1 year taught degrees, and the main subjects are arts and humanities subjects, languages, politics and history, media studies, and English literature. The program obviously include research and of course discussion, essay writing, and practical exercises. Master of Science, MSc, is very, very, very popular among Indian students because it's just 1 year full-time taught, and after 1 year you're in the job market. So and it's very good value for the money. MSc degrees basically for broader scientific learning, including subjects such as IT, environmental science, material science, medicine, and psychology. The programs include theory heavy and emphasizes on reading and research. Program designed to provide students a deeper knowledge of a specialized area of the subject. Now, one of the requirement for this MSc is IELTS, English language, and also you'll be also asked a honors degree of that relevant field, which I'll take you through about the UK grading system, what they're asking in terms of entry requirement. But IELTS is one of the English language, which again I'll take you through in the next slide. MA and MSc degrees are usually completed in 1 year. Then comes the MBA, Master of Business Administration, Master of Business or MBA. They're very, very, very popular again among Indian students. Most popular master's program among international students. not only Indian, but from all over the world. MBA from the UK is well-established qualification. Over 15,000 people each year complete an MBA in the UK. So you can just imagine how popular it is. And pretty much every business school, every universities, they run MBA. They run MBA program, whether it's a 1 year, 2 year, or part-time, but they run MBA program. Almost every university in the UK offers an MBA program. It is an intensive and challenging form of taught postgraduate course, pretty much practical and hands-on. When it's a practical, you will be given a group and you will be leading the group. Part of the program, you'll be leading the group. You'll be given a project. You will be, running the project. So it's pretty much practical and hands-on. And you also will be the universities have tie-ups with the companies in the UK, in London, and in other cities. So you will be heavily involved with them as well in terms of project management, and of course operational management, and of course business strategy and planning. So business strategy and planning is very, very important as well. Of course, you lead a team as an MBA, as I said, understand and analyze financial reports, which is very important in terms of MBA. You need to know what is the P&L, profit and loss, and you need to know what is the balance sheet, and you also need to know cash flows, and you need to lot of financial reports. You need to understand and also able to analyze, because you will be running a company at some point of time in your career. Case studies, again, very relevant case studies. They probably will pick up a bank which has gone bust a few years back, and then you will be asked to scrutinize everything from A to Z, analyze why the bank has gone bust, why bank is gone into liquidation. So things like, so it's a very, case studies are very relevant. Real world examples, as I said, taking a bank, for example, or taking a financial institution, or recession for the time, for that matter. So real world examples, dissertations on work-based projects, again, dissertations or work-based projects, you can choose. The choice is up to you. A lot of students choose work-based projects these days because just the practical experience is more important for them. Many courses offer work placements as well. Yes, MBA could be 1 year or 2 years. 2-year MBAs will also offer you work placements, and some of them even run in terms of apprenticeship kind of programs, but mainly it'll be like 1 year or 2-year courses. 1 year will be pretty much the course, and the 2 years will have this kind of provisions. Assessment is by formal exams, essays, and individual and of course group activities. And as I said, for MBA, the English language requirement is normally high compared to MSc. They ask you 6.5 minimum in each element. Most full-time MBAs in the UK can be completed over 1 or 2 years, depending on the course, and are designed for students from any area of employment. You can choose a specific area. You want to be an accountant, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a mechanical engineer, or you want to be a IT technician, or you want to be whatever you want. There is a MBA designed for that. Of course, the Financial Times global MBA rankings reported that MBA graduates could expect average salary increases of between 55% and 111%. That's how MBA is so challenging and demanding, because the pay scale is so high. Types of MBAs: you have general MBA, you have specialist MBAs, and you have executive MBAs. General MBA, business administration combined with financial management or accounting, marketing, organizational behavior, strategic management. So this is basically, these are the modules for the general MBA. Core modules can tailor make the course by selecting optional modules. Management experience, not essential, but work experience is essential. For any MBA for that matter, you need a bit of work experience. At least you need to have minimum 1 year work experience after you have finished your post-graduation, until unless you have an exceptional case that you can prove that you haven't got work experience, but still you can do MBA. But in general requirements, they expect you to have 1 to 2 minimum years of minimum experience in any core in the relevant field. Specialist MBS. What are these specialist MBS? These are especially for a particular sector. Uh, you are working in a particular sector and you want to have expertise and you want to move up the ladder and you want to go deep into that subject. So that is why the specialist MBAs are designed especially for finance, retail, and public sector, oil and gas, football, biotechnology, aviation, music, and the creative industries. And this is where the teachers are usually drawn from the industry specific and will have relevant experience. So the faculty, especially for this specialist MBS, at some point of time in their career, they probably would have worked in the same field, in the same specialized sector. So while teaching the students, it'll be more helpful in giving them complete insight about that specialist sector. Executive MBS. Now, this is for the senior management. You think you are in a mid-level, senior level executives, like if you have like 5 to 10 years business experience, or you're working for a company, or you have your own business for 5 to 10 years, then this is for you. This is executive MBS, suitable for mid-level and senior level executives, managers who are looking toward leadership roles and the boardroom. Now, master research degrees, as I said, master research degrees are very popular. There's about 41% of them. They do master research degrees, international students in the UK universities. MA, MSc by research. You also have a 1-year MA or MSc research degrees, generally a 1-year research program. Dissertation of 15,000 to 40,000 words required. The thesis should present some original research, but not to the same level as PhD or MPhil. So these MA and MSc by research it's like a foundation program if you wish to proceed further in your academic career, like you want to do PhD or MPhil. So this MA, MSc research degree, 1-year degree, will prepare you for that. After you have done that, after you have done this MA, MSc research, you will be able to apply for PhD in various other institutes or universities, and the acceptance will be much more easy in terms of a PhD program. Now, MRes, this is also popular, Master of Research, specifically designed to give students training in research only as a preparation for a PhD for a research-related career in the industry. Strong focus on the development of research skills. That is MRes, but MRes is normally 2 years or over 2 years. And then finally, Master of Philosophy, MPhil, research program extending over 2 or more years. Thesis or dissertation of 50,000 to 70,000 words required. The thesis must present original findings. So this is a challenging and very intensive and extensive course, MPhil. They need a thesis or dissertation of 50,000 to 70,000 words. And of course, the thesis must present your own original findings. Popular 1-year full-time postgraduate courses, especially studied by international students in the UK. Of course, MBA, as you know, and accounting and finance, global banking, IT management, HRM, marketing, healthcare, hospitality, quite a few. And when it comes to MSc, you have internet engineering, computing and information technology, computer science, international business management, international finance and business and banking. And now a couple of my students, they have enrolled for Jan 2021 intake for FRM, financial risk management, which also has got a lot of prospects in the current scenario. And obviously you have pharmaceutical science, microbiology, psychology. So these are all postgraduate courses which are popular, 1-year full-time postgraduate courses, popular among international students. Scholarships and fundings. There's one thing which I've come across in my experience is, especially with the Indian students, is they do not apply for scholarships because they just don't believe in scholarships. They probably think scholarships is already, there's quite a lot biased, and they're not run properly and they're not screened properly and it's always biased. So they even give up before making an attempt. But let me tell you, uh, especially in the UK, the universities have a very strict panel, especially when choosing students and applications for scholarships. In no way they deviate. They have to there's literally a tick box exercise they have to, so in no way they can show any bias to any student or from any other country, purely depending on their academic credentials. So please do apply. Don't give up before applying. There's plenty of scholarships, especially run by the universities itself, and by the UK government, and also the UK charities. So please do apply. The number of scholarship schemes run by governments, charities, and other organizations. Make inquiries wherever you can, country's Ministry of Education, and of course, local British Council office. British Council is the best source of information, best authentic source of information. You will not be misguided, especially when you approach British Council. Below are some global schemes: Chevening UK government scholarships, Erasmus scholarships, Royal Society grants. Postgraduate studentships can be found via, probably number of websites, including Postgraduate studentships and prospects. And of course, every university website will have all this information, but they will also have their own scholarships. The list is tailor-made for international students representing from India only. Recently, one of my student, the fees was 12,900 for a master's MSc course in finance, in financial management. He got a scholarship of £2,900. So they asked him to pay only £10,000, full complete fee, £10,000, as a one full for 1 full year top program, MSc Financial Management. So there is pretty much a lot of scholarships available. All you have to do is, approach someone, an agent or counselor from British Council or anyone, or you can go do your own research in terms of click on the universities you like and ask them, have you got any scholarships for international students? And you'll be surprised how much money you will save. There are plenty of schemes, as I said, but I think I've just made a little chart, especially ideal, relevant for Indian students. There's something called UKACL UK. It's all countries, especially research placements in the UK. So all countries, including India. Commonwealth Scholarship and Fellowship Plan. This is for Commonwealth countries. Of course, India is one among the Commonwealth countries, and this gives masters and doctoral courses, plus academic, professional, and medical fellowships. And Charles Wallace India Trust scholarships. This is purely for India, which is the beauty of it. Doctoral studies, research visiting fellows, and Scottish summer school. And of course, you have Goa Education Trust scholarships. That is purely again for India and Goa. Postgraduate courses, you have International Atomic Energy Agency scholarships, Hornby Educational Trust scholarship, Scotland's Solitaire scholarships, international development funding through DFID, and of course, GRADE scholarship. This GRADE scholarship is for undergraduate and postgraduate courses, and this is again for India, and this is for exceptional, for academic talent, especially among the undergraduate and for the undergraduate and postgraduate courses. Now, well, alumni, very important. Alumni, international students, alumni. Alumni are graduates of UK universities and colleges and ambassadors for their UK education. Alumni, an excellent resource of prospective students in choosing the university. If you have someone who has already studied from that university, and if that person can give you if they can give you the information and feedback about the course and about the universities, that's ultimate information. That's a very genuine information because it's coming from the student who's already studied and passed out of that university. So that is why alumni is very important. Whenever you choose a university, please, on their website there'll be alumni. Check what alumni has got to say about the university and about the program. So which is very a genuine piece of information or feedback, which will help you in choosing the university and the program as well. Every UK institution will have alumni associations and alumni teams whose responsibility is to build and maintain their networks. Each university will have, of course, alumni resources. I mean, you'll have videos, case studies, which will allow students to experience firsthand challenges faced previous students during the experience of UK education. So alumni is very, very important. So whenever you choose a university and a program, please look at the alumni videos and of course case studies as well. Types of visas, I mean, there's so many legal ways to come to the United Kingdom, and recently since 5th of October 2020, UK has changed its immigration policy. It's moved on to points-based system. Now this points-based system again will be an advantage to the Indian students because points-based system favors for the students who's got post-graduation qualifications and higher, or doctorates or MPhil. So 5th of October, since 5th of October 2020, we got new immigration. Pretty much the base content and the rules are the same, just a bit of different terminology here and there. So there's so many ways you can come to the UK legally. Tier 1 entrepreneur visa or graduate entrepreneur visa, global talent visa. If you got exceptional talent in a particular field, tier 1, for example, you think you're a good sportsman, you play a lot of cricket and you played at state level or whatever, that's your exceptional talent. You can apply for a global talent visa. You can investor visa. If you got money, your dad or your uncle, someone wants to start a business in the UK, you can choose an investor visa. Of course, skilled worker visa. I'll come back to that skilled worker visa in a minute. You got intercompany, you work for a corporate in India, especially for an MNC who's got a regional office in India. You can also come on an intercompany transfer visa through the company. And of course, you're a priest. If you want to come, you can come as a Minister of Religion visa, sports person visa, and of course, student visa and child student visa is another thing which I'll take you through, which is very relevant for the postgraduate program. And of course, you got a lot of tier 5 visas like temporary worker, charity, creative worker, creative and sporting visa, government authorized exchange visa, international agreement visa, religious worker visa, and mobility scheme. So there's quite a lot of ways to come to the UK legally. So most important thing we are looking at is now student visa and child student visa. This used to be called tier 4 general student visa, but from 5th of October the immigration rules have changed. It's gone back to points-based system. Now they're calling it a student visa and child student visa. Especially for you, if you would like to study a postgraduate program in the UK, then you have to choose the student visa route, right? For example, skilled worker visa is something, if you can find work in the UK, if you can find a sponsor who can sponsor work in the UK, then you can apply through a skilled worker visa. But for now, we are looking at student visa. Student visa. An applicant can apply for a student visa to study in the UK if they are 16 or over. So this is very, 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 very crucial. So the minimum age is 16. So that is the criteria. Have been offered a place on a course. Of course, you should be offered. I mean, university, you should be able to get a CAS, confirmation of acceptance for your studies from the university. Prior to that, the university will issue a offer letter, conditional offer letter, saying that this is the entry requirement and this is the English language requirement and this much deposit you should be able to pay from the tuition fee on the conditional offer letter. Once you have fulfilled all the conditions, then they will send you a CAS. Then based on the CAS, you will be able to apply for a visa. But these are the standard requirements: is you can speak, read, write, and understand English, have enough money to support themselves and pay for their course. Of course, the amount will vary depending on the circumstances. Meet the other eligibility requirements. I shall go through what are they. What you can do on student visa: study and work as a student union sabbatical officer, apply from outside or inside or outside the UK, apply to extend their stay. You can always extend your stay. Work in most jobs depending on what level of their course. and what kind of sponsor they have. Part-time work legally allowed on student visa. Maximum of 20 hours per week, paid or unpaid work for those studying degree level or more. So if you're doing a postgraduate program, you can work 20 hours per week, and mostly it'll be paid work. But for example, if you're doing creative, like if you want to do some production or film direction or things like that, you may get work, but you will not be paid. But in general, like regular for retail or finance, retail, sales, marketing, service oriented, you will get paid. So you are allowed to work 20 hours per week. Full time is allowed during vacations. England has got a lot of vacations during your term time. You work 20 hours, but when you have vacation, you can work full time. Self-employment is not permitted on this visa, like any freelancers or consultancy work. Minimum wage in the UK from 1st of April 2020 is 21 to 24 years old. It's £8.20 per hour. So expected guaranteed minimum earnings of 712 per month. So this is only I'm taking 20 hours per week. But if you're working full time during the vacations and all, there's a possibility you can earn anywhere between 12 to 1,300 pounds a month. And there's over the age of 25, you get £8.72 expected guaranteed minimum earning. Every year, this minimum earning will go up as per the inflation. So from April to 2021, it will go up slightly as well. But as you can see, if you're working in the UK easily, comfortably, you can minimum 1,200, or you can even make £1,500 a month, and that's legally by working 20 hours per week and of course working full time during vacation. What you can't do on this visa, you cannot access public funds, like you cannot seek job seekers allowance or accommodation allowance or anything like that. Work in certain jobs, for example, professional sports person or sports coach, you can't do that. Study at an academy or local authority funded school, you can't work, especially in a local authority funded school, which is funded by the government. They may be able to bring in family members. You can obviously bring in your own family members, dependents, but there's a separate visa for that, a dependent visa. Right. Now, tuition fees. Average fees for the postgraduate courses in the UK. Right. Now, this is a rough chart I've given me. Do not quote me on this. I've just done a little comparison. So it may vary from one university to other university. And these fees I've given you, these fees does not include any scholarship. These are the just as it is, the fees. A classroom MA Arts is roughly about £15,000 average, and laboratory are slightly expensive, especially MSc Science and Engineering. £17,500 is average, and of course MBA, business MBA is £20,500. It depends if it's a 1 year or 2 years. If it's a 1 year, it'll be less. If it's 2 years, it'll be more. So it's research, MBRES, MPhil, again, can be anywhere over £10,000, because most of the research funds, MBRES, MPhil, will have a lot of grants from the university itself. So you will get you will get a lot of scholarships. So I could not estimate an average. So it's normally over £10,000. Data taken from the most recent survey of UK postgraduate fees published by this is published by Times Higher Education magazine. Figures can be used for benchmark purpose only. As I said, this is for benchmark purpose only, and it does not reflect fees for specific courses. Every university has a different fee structure and they run a different program. And as per their institution's reputation, the fee structure is based on the institution's reputation. So do not quote me. It's just the benchmark. Now, why I've given you is, like, if you decide to do an MBA, especially from India, if you want to do one of the good elite tier 1 universities, you're spending almost like 10 on an average, like 14 to 15 lakhs for an MBA if you want to do in a good university in India. So might well you can come to the UK and do the same MBA, and after the MBA you get 2 years to live in the UK and work for and get paid work, and you have international experience. So this is just a quick short saying that how much the institutions are charging for the MBA in India. If I take average of this, it comes around like 14 to 15 lakhs. So that much of money you're spending for an MBA in India itself. So that's what I've done this chart saying that why UK postgraduate program is excellent value for the money. So you can see now MSc are slightly cheaper compared to MBS, but still if you want top MBS, you will be spending about 4 to 5 lakhs easily for MSc. Living costs. Now, living costs is the money you need to survive in the UK, which would cover your accommodation, your living expenses, your food, your entertainment, everything. So home office, normally they have fixed amounts, how much you need to show. But please do not panic, because normally in London you need £1,334 per month. So if you're applying for a postgraduate visa, postgraduate program visa, which is obviously over 12 months, then you have to show 9 months of your 9 months of the maintenance allowance. So 1334 times 9, £12,006 you have to show as a liquid funds, as a cash, or on a bank loan, or on a bank statement, or a bank loan, saying that these funds are available for you to use, and this will cover 9 months. And if the university you applied is outside London, then it's slightly less. It's 1023, which comes to 9,207. But one thing you have to understand is the students who have come to the UK over years and years and years and years, they show the maintenance funds as a mandatory requirement to get a visa. But once they show they live in university halls of residence, every university provides accommodation. So initially they just live, they stay in university accommodation for 1 month, and after 1 month they will move out. They will move out and they will find their own accommodation or shared accommodation, or they'll share a room with a friend or a family, which is a lot cheaper, and you'll save a lot of money. And at the same time, you have to understand, once you start working part-time, which is very easy to find anywhere in the UK, you whatever money you're earning per month, it should be more than enough to cover your rent and rent for the accommodation, and your food, and your travel expenses, and of course for entertainment, like once in a week you want to go and dine in a restaurant, or you want to go and watch a cinema, or things like that. So it's more than enough. You'll be able to earn anywhere between 1,200 to 1,500 pounds a month. So once you have earned that, all you have to show is 9 months. But a lot of students, what they do is, as I said, 1 month, the first month they stay in the university halls of residence and they move out. And once they move out, they start earning, and they manage their own expenses. Then they obviously send the money back to their parents, sponsors. So that's one thing which a lot of students have been doing for over years. It all depends on you, whether you want to work, or if you have enough money to cover, then you wouldn't have to work. It's your choice, right? So right, many, as I said, majority of the Asian students move to private accommodation after 1 month to save money. As I said, okay, this is the entry requirements, especially for a postgraduate program, and this is very important. So I would request you all to pay a little bit attention here. The courses we are talking here is taught masters and research masters, postgraduate. Now, taught masters could be MSc or MSc, MA or MSc, right? Or even MBA. So like MSc, MBA, Master of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration. You also have Master of Education, and of course you have Master of Law, right? The requirement for is this UK or recognized overseas undergraduate degree in a relevant subject at 2:2 or about. What is this 2:2? This is the UK grading. I'll take you through in my next slide what is the UK grading. But remember this, they're asking a undergraduate degree. Minimum requirement is undergraduate degree, which is could be a BA, BCom, BSc, or Bachelor of Engineering, or Bachelor of Technology, or Bachelor of Pharmacy, or Bachelor of Architecture. All this, it's a 3-year or 4-year degree. It doesn't matter, right? But your grade should be 2:2 or about. Remember that 2:2 or 2.2 normally there is referred to. And of course, English language proficiency at B2 level, secure English language, is called CELT, SCLT, secure English language test. UK visas and immigration have a set of standard English language tests, approved English language test by UK Visas and Immigration, which again I'll take you through in my next slide. So you need to prove that you have English language proficiency. So these two are standard requirements to gain an entry into a postgraduate program in the UK. Apart from obviously you should be financially capable of covering your maintenance and of course tuition fee as well, but these two are standard ones. And it's the same with the points based system as well. You need to have minimum 70 points, but if you have these three requirements like undergraduate degree, and you have an English level language proficiency certificate, and of course you can prove the financial capability to fund yourself in terms of tuition fees and maintenance, you will have that 70 points, whatever required for the entry into a postgraduate program in any UK university. Our research masters is slightly bit stringent because it's a research obviously masters. For example, for Master of Philosophy, Master by Research, Master of Research MRes, or MA, MSc Research, or MPhil, they ask you 2:1 honors degree. Again, what is 2:1? I'll show in the next slide. And of course, English language, the level of English language could be higher for research start masters, which I'll take you through. But there are various other ones as well, like research doctorate, thought doctorate may not be relevant for this presentation. Now, this is the UK grading system in the UK, right? Now, classification, mark, OU, equivalent grade, right? Now, what we are interested in, this OU means that this is Open University marking. So, which is if you've studied in any Open University, distance learning, so percentage is higher. So, but all we are interested in is mark, M-A-R-K, mark. That's an equivalent grade. So, if you get first class, it's called first. You should have achieved 70% plus, then you're called first class or A grade. If you're upper second class, which is 2.1, that means you need to score at least minimum 60%. Then your grade is B. Lower second class, 2.2 or 2:2, 50 to minimum 50%. And your grade is C. That's it. That is the cutoff. If you score less than 50%, you will not be able to study in the UK for a postgraduate program. For the students who scored less than 50, then there are other options, like you may have to do a 1-year foundation program with that university. And once you pass that foundation program, the university will prepare you in terms of English and other subjects as well, relevant subjects. Then there will be assessments. And once you clear that, then the university then may offer you a course, postgraduate program. Now, as I said, English language test. English language test is, again, I said UK visas and immigration. UK visas and immigration, UK visas and immigration is an approved official body by the UK government itself. So UK visas and immigration decides the English language test. These are the 4 approved English language proficiency test by UKVI, which is IELTS, and the other one is language certificate, language cert, or Pearson, and PSI Service UK Limited. So these are the mandatory legally allowed. These are the ones accepted especially for to study in the UK. Now out of these fours, literally every university, every institution, every college accept IELTS, which is International English Language Testing Center. So IELTS is like a Bible, like every institution, every college, every university, they accept IELTS, and IELTS centers are everywhere, all over in India. Now IELTS, they have started online as well, um, uh, which I'll take you through. IELTS, this is called International English Language Testing System, and very, very, very common and popular among Indian students. Literally 90% of the Indian students do IELTS before coming to the UK because it's a mandatory requirement. Now, there are various bands in IELTS, band 1 to band 9. So the minimum is, as I said in my previous you need to have 5.5 in each element. There are 4 elements: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You need to get 5.5, which is the minimum requirement. But a lot of universities ask from band 6 to band 6.5, and some of the tier 1 universities, they ask you band 7 as well. So it varies from university to other university depending on the tiers and reputation. Now, this is for, again, tier 4 student visa. Don't get confused. This tier 4 student visa is now replaced by student visa because we are in a new points based system now. As this IELTS is, as I said, International English Language Testing. You have 1,200 IELTS test locations worldwide. There are a couple of hundred in India as well, wherever you are. And now they have started in online as well. I mean, you can go and sit online IELTS. So there are 4 elements. I said listening is basically 40 minutes listening test. There are 40 questions and there are 4 sections. 30 minutes for testing and 10 minutes for transferring your answers to the answer sheet. Sections get increasingly difficult, so you just listen to, there are 4 sections and you listen and you have to write simultaneously. Reading, again, reading has 3 passages from questions 1 to 40, 20 minutes for each passage for reading. Writing is another element. You get 60 minutes and you have 2 sections. Well, in task 1, 2 parts, you're given you're asked to describe a graph, chart, or pie diagram, and you get 20 minutes. And task 2 is basically you have to write an essay on a given topic. That's for 40 minutes. That's writing. Speaking is normally approximately between 14 to 15 minutes. There are 3 parts to it. Speaking test is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is normally 4 to 5 minutes. Is the examiner will ask you some questions about topics that are familiar to you. Then part 2 is 3 to 4 minutes. This is especially examiner will give you a card with a topic, and then you need to speak about the topic for 1 or 2 minutes, and then later examiner may ask you 1 or 2 follow-up questions. That's part 2. Part 3 is 4 to 5 minutes. This is very important. It's a two-way discussion. So examiner will ask you some questions to involve you in a discussion. Now, this is when they will judge how you are good with your communication. Are you putting your points across precisely? Are you using correct vocabulary? And how is your grammar? Everything is this part 3 is very, very important. So, but the language required in the discussion is generally more abstract than in the other sections. So the questions the examiner asks will have the same theme as part 2. So part 2 and part 3 will have the same topic or same theme. So that's the speaking test. Now, how is the assessment criteria for IELTS? Generally, as I said, number 6, band score 6. Band score 6 is band score 6 is most of the universities' entry requirement is you need to be at band score 6 in all 4 elements. Some of them, tier 1 universities, they'll ask you band 7, which is a good user. But what is band 6 we are talking about? For band 6, you need to be a competent user, right? Has effective command of English, but also has some errors. Inappropriate words and misunderstandings in some situations can cause complex language quite well. Can use complex language quite well, but best in familiar situations. So this is a criteria for the competent user. So you are allowed to make some errors, and of course allowed to make you use inappropriate words in a sentence, and misunderstandings in some situations, but you should be able to prove that you can use complex language quite well, but best in familiar situations. When they say familiar situations, in the sense, when you're given a topic, for example, you're a cricketer, you love cricket, you play a lot about cricket, then the topic is going to be IPL, Indian Premier League. So that's when you know all the terminology of IPL, the format, 2020 format, Indian Premier League, and how many clubs are involved in it, how many teams play in it, and who's won the IPL for the past 2-3 years. So you're familiar with the terminology. So that's what they're saying. Well, best in familiar situations. So you might be very confident speaker when it comes to IPL. So this is what you have to prove. As I said, key points, some errors, use some complex language, which is best in a familiar situation. So that's what you need in terms of entry requirements. Band score 6 in every element. Some of the universities, tier 3, tier 4 universities, may accept 5.5, IELTS 5.5 in all other elements, in all 4 elements, but they're very quite few. But again, if you could be a good user, you could be a very good user, you could be an expert user. Expert user is extremely difficult because a lot of native English speaking people, they struggle a lot, because expert user, you have to have complete command in English, accurate, appropriate, highly flexible, fluent with full understanding, accurate, complete understanding. So that's a very, very high level bar. But I think now number 6 and number 7 is very easily achievable, because all Indian students, the majority of the Indian students, the medium of instruction obviously is English. So obviously a bit of practice, a bit of guidance, and some exam tips and technique, it's band 6 and band 7 are achievable. COVID-19 pandemic. So I know you're worried, your parents are worried. Oh, do we need to send our kids now to the UK because this COVID pandemic all over the world, and how UK is coping? Is my child, my son, my daughter safe in the UK? So I know it's a general concern. I'll be worried about my kids as well. But as you should know, UK is actually a front runner in terms of COVID pandemic research, and as you want to know how UK is dealing and coping with the COVID, in terms of containing the virus, in terms of stopping the virus, and how the patients are being treated as well. This message from Graham Stewart, who's the MP, Minister for Exports, he on 6th of August 2020, he made a statement saying that NHS services are available to both domestic and international students. So there's something called NHS, National Health Trust. So as a postgraduate student, there is something called health surcharge. You pay about 370 to 400 pounds. It's just a one-off before coming to the country. Once then you're covered, then whatever your complete medical is covered, in terms of vaccines or in terms of any emergencies or hospitalizations, you are covered. So you have any issue, you just call the ambulance. In 6 minutes you have an ambulance. In 4, 5, 6 minutes you have an ambulance. So that's what they're saying. NHS services are available to both domestic and international students, so there's no bias. Once you come over the UK, when your turn comes, you will get the vaccination as well, and no extra charges are applied in terms of for testing COVID. So international students are more welcome. You will be more safe in the UK, to be honest, compared to any other part of the world. And why I would say that is because the first clinical trial of one of the UK's biggest hopes, a jab made by Oxford University, I will take you through in my next slide. And of course, you will not believe me, the population of UK is 67 million people, and you can understand how the UK government are concerned about its people. right? They have already paid for 340 million doses so far. So that is 5 times of the population on an average. So they have paid 300. They have paid 300 and paid for 340 million doses from various companies where the vaccine trials are going through all over the world. These are the vaccines UK secured deals for. They have paid and secured deals for. GlaxoSmithKline and Sanofi Pasteur, 60 million doses. AstraZeneca manufacturing this is Oxford and AstraZeneca. They are AstraZeneca is Oxford vaccine is coming. It's in the final stage now. It's waiting for the approval. It should be out in a week or 2 weeks times in the UK. So UK has already bought 100 million doses. Oxford has, in collaboration with AstraZeneca, manufacturing these doses for the UK. Now, BioNTech and Pfizer, 30 million doses. Now, you probably have heard about this vaccine. And let me tell you, good news is this vaccine, UK is the first country using this vaccine for its population. COVID-19 vaccine manufactured by BioNTech and Pfizer, approved for the use in the UK by Independent Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, which is also called MHRA, well-renowned regulatory agency, and now it's been approved. And the initial phase of 800,000 vaccines currently being offered to the people most at risk from coronavirus. So at the moment, the vaccination program is going on in the UK since first week of December. We've got 800,000 vaccines. It's been given to all geriatric people, people who are over 80 years old, and people who are health workers who are working well now, and for doctors and nurses and health workers. That is the phase 1. By end of this month, the government is expecting 4 million vaccines, and early next year another 30 million. So you're talking about roughly, the scientific community is confident and the government is confident that by early May or end of April, things could get back to normal in the UK, as the vaccine will be given to majority of the population. And of course, another one is Valneva in Livingston, Scotland. The UK has bought 60 million doses. So there's UK is the front runner in terms of getting back things to normal. So you can see how much money they have spent. So UK is the safest place for your son, for your daughter, if parents are listening, or for you students. Be confident, come to the UK. You will have you will be treated, you'll be given the same treatment like any other local people, and UK is a safe place. You can see again, Johnson & Johnson, 30 million doses, Novavax, 60 million doses, Imperial College London, we don't know about the unknown quantity, but they also received funding from the UK government in terms of their research. So as I said, UK is determined to eliminate COVID-19 as soon as possible and hit the road back to economic recovery. So we are thinking probably by end of April, early May, things will get back to normal in the UK. Now, opportunities in the UK after post-Brexit. What happens in terms of UK after post-Brexit? What is Brexit? Brexit is basically there were 28 countries in the Europe, and UK is one among them. European Union has got 28 countries last year, and UK is one among the European Union. When you're part of the European Union, you need to follow a set of rules for all the 28 countries in terms of trade, in terms of bilateral trade, in terms of business, in terms of free movement. So all these things were part of the European Union, and UK is being one of the main member, including France, Germany, and Italy and Spain. UK is also one of the main member for the past years and years. But there was in terms of revolution among the local people in the United Kingdom, saying that we are paying millions and millions of pounds as a membership, but we are not getting much out of the European Union. We're not able to go and freely trade with countries like China, Brazil, and India because they're outside the European Union. So our growth is getting restricted, and also we're being dominated by France, Germany, and Italy. So there was a dissatisfaction among the people and the local people, British people here in the UK. Uh, so this revolution started, and the other reason as well, there was a free movement in the sense within these 28 countries, any person can move to any other country without any visa and can go work in that country and claim benefits in terms of housing allowance or job seeker allowance, and send their kids to schools. And so out of 28 countries, there are also some poor Eastern European countries, roughly about 5 to 7 of them. Those Eastern European countries, a lot of people came over to cities like London, Paris, and Brussels, cities like major cities in the Europe, and they took all the local jobs away from the local people, obviously for less money, because the employers were trying to save the money, companies were trying to save the money without looking at skills and qualifications and that kind of stuff, because would they would save money by paying less to those people. So the local people were agitated, saying that they were coming and there was a scarcity in the job market, things like that. So there are 2.27 million EU nationals working in the UK right now. 2.27 million EU nationals. So they don't need a visa, they don't need any qualifications or anything. They can just come because part of free movement. They can come and they can work for anyone. So this was quite, the agitation was increasing day by day. So the people decided, and there was a vote. And there was a vote to decide whether UK should be part of the European Union or UK should pull out of the European Union, which is nothing but Brexit. BR is Britain, exit is exit from the European Union. So people decided, people gave the majority that we should pull out from the European Union, and we should make our own trade laws, and there should be no free movement. There should be, one of the reason of the Brexit is this points-based system again. So anyone, not only from India, but even from any European country, Germany or France, they need to follow this points-based system. So there'll be no discrimination for Indian, Chinese, or Brazil or whatever students compared to the Europe. So everyone has to go through the same points-based system, and UK is now free to do their own trade deals with any other country in the world. The negotiations are still going on at the moment to be in the single market in terms of trade and business, but it's a long negotiation, so we don't know the outcome. But one good thing is of the Brexit is it has given more opportunities, especially for Indian students and Chinese students, because points-based system always favors the educated students. And also another beauty is the points-based system as well, in terms of if you're a skilled worker, you have postgraduate degree, or you have a PhD degree, the points-based system favor the qualified skilled workers in terms of just a free movement. So, and other advantages, China probably is a front runner in terms of skilled workers, and also a student as well, international student. But the problem now, as India has outshone China as most preferred country for skilled workers and new trade deals, now India has completely outshone China, just because China is no more trusted in the world trade market, as it has not been transparent in handling COVID-19 pandemic. So they lost a bit of reputation. So India has completely outshone China. This is the right time for Indian skilled workers and Indian students to come to the UK to work or to study or to make a career in the UK. So this is all about Brexit. There's plenty of opportunities in UK after post-Brexit. Now, why this is a perfect time to study postgraduate course in the UK? As I said, because of the Brexit and also COVID-19 pandemic, is a very safe place to study in the UK, and of course post Brexit. But there's also another thing is when this 2.27 million or roughly over 2 million people in the Europe, when they have to go through points based system, many of them will not be eligible because they haven't got relevant qualifications and experience, and they may have to go back to their countries. So there will be a lot of requirement. And also when uh, UK tries to do its own trade deals outside the world, so the requirement for the skilled workers will increase by 3 or 4 folds. That is why UK government's recent announcement saying that a new 2 year post-study work visa would be available commencing with the 2020 intake of overseas students to the UK universities. So if you have done a or a research, a research master's course, could be MA or MSc, taught or research for 1 year full-time study, after you complete your post-graduation, you will be eligible to stay back in the United Kingdom. You will be eligible for a 2 year post study work visa. That means you can just put your CV into the job market, and like a British citizen, there's no bias or no discrimination. Just like me, you can go and put your CV to any other company and you can find a paid job for 2 years. So there are no restrictions in terms of employment. For those 2 years, you can go and work for any company, and you can earn anywhere minimum between £25,000 to £30,000 per year. So those 2 years will be good income. Whatever you earn, you can pay back your student loans from banks or your sponsors, whatever, and gain valuable experience in the UK, international experience. And if you prefer to go back and do something in your own country, or if you prefer to stay back in the UK or move into any other country, there'll be more opportunities because of the Brexit. A lot of sponsors will come openly and they would like to sponsor a candidate within the country who's got exposure to UK work culture for 2 years. So they'll be able to sponsor you. Then you can change your visa, move to a different route, which is called skilled worker route. That will be after that skilled worker route will be about 5 years visa, skilled worker visa. After 5 years, you'll become a permanent resident of United Kingdom. So there is a career path. If you want to come to the UK, study, work hard, earn at the same time, and want to settle down in the UK, there is a career path. So this is definitely a big positive thing, especially for in terms of you choosing postgraduate program in the UK. This is the right time. As I said, you'll have plenty of opportunities to obtain a skilled worker visa, as the UK trade will be buoyant and employers will be coming forward to sponsor the eligible skilled workers. So after successful completion of 5 years on skilled worker visa, you may be eligible to apply for permanent residency in the UK, provided if you're not in breach of any of the UK immigration laws. So please do not breach any of the UK immigration laws. Please, follow them and adhere them. Then you will have a bright future. Right. Now, this is another thing. Okay, I'm only talking about academic side. Going to the UK, you'll get this, you'll get this, you'll get this, you'll be this. But what are you going to do in the UK? You may also have a bit of need a balance in terms of not only just studies, but you also need a balance in terms of recreation. What do you do in the free time? Fortunately, UK is on the world map. In terms of topographical or geographical location, UK is in that European map zone. So it's easy for you to travel to any city in the Europe. For example, being in the UK, it may take a couple of £100 for you to go to Paris or Milan or Barcelona. But if you're somewhere in America or Canada or Australia, you may have to spend few thousand pounds to leave outside the country to go and visit any other country. But here, the advantage, because of its geographical location, it's easy, and there are lots of transportation which I'll take you through. What do you do free time and time away from campus? Museums and galleries. There are about 2,000 museums, and most of them are free entry. You can just visit, and it's a great exhibition if you decide to visit an exhibition, you can spend an afternoon. There are theaters. London's West End is famous for theaters. Whoever visits London, they go and watch a play. Especially in London West End. UK theatre has an excellent worldwide reputation, renowned for great writing, directing, acting. Their shows like Mamma Mia and few other shows, they're like going for past 20 years. Theater shows, and they're brilliant. You can go and watch anytime you go and watch. Whenever you're in London, you can go and spend some time. Creative industries, as you know, UK has one of the largest and most diverse creative industry sectors in the world. It accounts 6% of the GDP, employing 2.3 million people. Of course, UK is home to world renowned businesses in advertising, fashion, TV, film, design, and architecture. Music, of course, music is very, very eccentric in terms of the UK culture. Sport music pretty much goes hand in glove. So the UK has one of the largest music industries in the world and one of the most advanced digital TV and radio markets. They are like music events in each and every city happening throughout the year. All you have to go is and ask your NSU, National Student Union, saying that if you want to go and folk music, or if you're into rock or blues or contemporary classical music, there are concerts happening all over cities throughout the year. So you have to go and ask your National Students NSU and ask for a copy of the brochure. Then some of them are free entry as well, and even if they have a ticket, they won't be that expensive. As I said, sport, as part of the English culture, British culture, every person plays a sport in the UK, whether it could be football, cricket, tennis, rugby, climbing. They do some sort of physical workout and activity. It's part of the culture. So UK is very passionate about music and sport. Um, so again, there are a lot of clubs. You can go and join a cricket club or tennis club, or within your own university. There'll be a lot of clubs, so you can play a sport if you want have some free time. Food. Now, food is multi cuisine. London, any city, like if you take London or Edinburgh or any cities, I think you walk in a high street, you are guaranteed you'll find a Chinese, Indian, Thai, Mexican, Italian, and French cuisines. You will have this on any high street if you go into any city, to be honest. And uh, I can tell you the Indian food, especially Indian food, influence how much it influenced the British people, is because chicken tikka masala is now a true British national dish. Can you believe it? Chicken tikka masala is a true British national dish. So that is to that extent, Indian food. British people love Indian food so much. Right, next. Time away from campus. This is what I said, because the beauty of UK being in that geographical location on the world map, it's easy for you to go anywhere within the Europe and within the UK. You can go to Scotland, or you can enjoy great views in Cairngorms in Scotland, Lake or Peak District in England, Welshore, Brecon Beacons. There are a lot of, and if you like village side, you can go to Cotswold in England, Emerald Green countryside of Northern Ireland, and of course Lough Neagh, which is the Europe's largest freshwater lake. Beautiful Lough Neagh, very, very beautiful. As the UK is an island, there are hundreds of miles of coastline. You can go to golden sands of Cornish, picturesque finishing villages of Scotland, and of course international famous UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. So all these places within the UK you can visit during your vacation or weekend. Weather, of course, this is one of the thing. Weather is very unpredictable in the UK. Well, you on a single day you can have a bit of sunshine, you can have drizzling through, pouring through, you can have cold winds. You may, if you're lucky, you may have a snow as well a bit. So it's quite unpredictable weather in the UK, unfortunately. But saying that it's got 4 seasons. It's got winter, spring, summer, and autumn, and the country is well equipped with all kinds of modern equipment and everything in terms of to coping with any harsh weather. But in terms of there's no harsh weather as such. I mean, I haven't seen it for quite a few years. I've been living 20 years, but it has 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and autumn. The temperatures could fall -5 degrees centigrade and rise much about 32 degrees centigrade throughout the year, anytime. And one of the noticeable climatic features in the UK is it's called long summer days. We basically call Indian summer, especially summer is between June to August, June, July, August, those 3 months, and sometimes it extends to mid-September as well. It's called a very long summer, Indian summer, and it gets dark by 4 o'clock in December. Especially in winter season in December now, 4 o'clock in the evening, it gets really dark. Dark in the means dark, and especially and if you're talking about summer in July, 10 o'clock in the night, you can still see bright light. So that's English weather for you, right? Now, discover Europe. This is what I'm saying. It's very easy to, you have Eurostar, which is a channel tunnel. It takes a few hours from London to Paris or London to Brussels. And of course, you have you can do air travel as well. You can take a flight from any UK city, like from London, Manchester, Birmingham, anywhere you can, and you can go to Amsterdam or Cardiff to Paris or Edinburgh to Dublin, and all it takes is 1 to 2 hours. That's it, and they're not expensive. Only a couple of £100, you can go and nicely see a city. So that's the advantage being within the Europe. And of course, it's got excellent road and rail links, mean that city to city journeys are generally quick. Right. Quickly, last just a couple of minutes, what we do, we are an education agency based in London and also in India. We are called UK Academic Consultancy Limited. And why you have to choose us, if you decide to choose us, why compared to any other agency? Because we have a team of experienced student liaison officers, academic advisors, and academic coordinators, both in UK and India. We are slightly different from other agencies. Interviews, we do interviews through Skype, WhatsApp, Zoom, Teams, face-to-face meeting with students and parents as well. It's very important we speak to parents as well. We fill in your application form, we prepare your personal statement, we prepare your professional CV, we do a covering letter, we verify the references. And of course, if you need any advice in terms of choosing a particular program in any university, our academic advisors are available at any point. For example, we have Dr. Abhilash. He will be, if you have any doubts in terms of choosing a program or university, always we refer to Dr. Abhilash, because his extensive expertise and knowledge in terms of overseas education, he will be able to guide you in terms of what course and what universities and what program to choose. So we are different compared to other universities. We also provide a document verification, something called Futerium or blockchain technology. Your academic transcripts and your academic certificates, we will put it online, which is a Futerium or blockchain technology. So once we do every certificate, once we put it online, then it will create a white label reference. That white label references, we send it to universities. So those universities, so you need not to send your PDF documents or send your physical documents in the post to universities or employers. You just have to send the white label references. They will be able to click on the link of the Futerium and will be able to download your certified academic documents. So the idea is to avoid any alteration or document fraud. which is an exclusive service. And we also provide end-to-end student visa process. We'll do everything A to Z till you get the visa, until you are enrolled into the university. We conduct mock interviews, as we said, and we do a free consultation in terms of your requirements and your specializations and your interests in terms of pursuing postgraduate program in the UK. As I said, we assist in preparation of all necessary documents required to submit to UK consulate in India. Of course, we do not charge any commission or fee from students for our direct services. We provide orientation support after arrival in the UK. Once you're in the UK, if you need any help in terms of accommodation or in terms of any transport or anything, or communicate to your parents, we are there. We provide orientation support as well. And we also provide IELTS intensive coaching, which is again a very, very valuable mandatory requirement. We provide IELTS online and classroom training, and it's basically 6 weeks intensive coaching, 4 hours per week for the first 5 weeks, and 8 hours start room, classroom based. And you have plenty, we provide plenty of material in terms of all the four elements: listening, speaking, writing, and of course reading as well. So this is what we do. There's one thing which you need to do is post-study work, which we provide post-study work as well. Once you have finished your post-graduation in the UK, we'll be in touch with you just a couple of months before your postgraduate completion of your postgraduate program. We'll be in touch with you. Again, we'll do your CV, professional CV, and we'll do a covering letter, and we will start applying. We'll start searching for a job in the UK for your 2-year post-study works. So we also provide guaranteed post-study work assistance in terms of PSW. Now, this is what is all the webinar. I hope this webinar is useful, and I have given you enough information. But if you have any questions or anytime anything, please just drop me an email directly, which is s.sanga@theukag.co.uk. And if you have any academic queries, you can always get in touch with Dr. Abhilash. He will be able to help you as well in terms of choosing a program or university. If you need more information, you can log on to our website, which is the ukag.co.uk. So please register with us if you're interested in pursuing postgraduate education. We will provide a free consultation. So, and also, last but not least, thank you for all joining for this webinar. And please do not forget to fill in the feedback form. There's a link on the YouTube live stream feedback form link. So click on it. Please leave the feedback, because it will help us if we miss anything in this webinar. For the future webinars, we can always add whatever you're looking for. So please do not forget to fill in the feedback form. Right. Thank you so much again. I personally thank Dr. Abhilash as well for convening and coordinating this wonderful webinar. Thank you all, and thank you all students and participants who joined this webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sridhar. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we have few questions from the students. I'll read it out one by one.
Okay.
Okay, the first question we have from Roshan.
Mm-hmm.
Roshan is asking, what is the difference in 1-year course and 2 years course?
As I said, Roshan, in my presentation, normally 1-year course is just, it's just a course. Normally 2 years include a placement. Now, in terms of work or in terms of, they're attached to a lot of universities are, they have tie-ups and collaboration with the companies. So the second year, they will place you in a company. So that's that 2 years include placement. But again, you have to understand 2 years you have to pay for 2 years fee as well. So the fee will be high for a 2 year, including placement courses compared to 1 year. My suggestion was prior to this 2-year post-study work, I would probably recommend saying that, because a lot of Indian students used to go, spend a lot of time and money and do their post-graduation program in the UK, and there were no post-study work opportunities at all. So once they have finished their post-graduation, in 2 weeks' time, they receive a letter from Home Office saying that, I'm afraid now you may have to leave the country, which was quite annoying and frustrating for the students after spending so much time and money. Why on earth I go and I don't get I don't get work at all. That is why a lot of Indian students used to go to America, Canada and Australia, because there were more post-study work opportunities. But now the UK government has brought this new rule. Once you complete your 1 year post-graduation, whether it's a taught or research degree, you can stay back in the UK and you get a 2 year post-study visa. That means you get a 2 year visa. You can go and work for any employer in the UK, and comfortably you can earn anything minimum £25,000 to £30,000, depending on your subject. And again, it all depends. Interview is a completely different thing based on your skills, experience, and all that stuff. So 1 year is basically now full-time taught or research course. There's no placement including. 2 years is normally there's a placement included in the second year, work placement. So that is a difference. Yeah.
Okay. The second question, it's again from Roshan. He wants to know more information about Bournemouth University.
Bournemouth University. Okay, right. I think if you
and specifically, I think it's about MBA.
Right. As I said again, Bournemouth University, if you have seen the rankings, I mean, obviously, I've only shown the first 20 universities in terms of rankings as per the Guardian League table. But Bournemouth University stands, it's 70. It stands 73rd. This position is number 73. And it's in 2021 it's improved to 56. So Bournemouth is 56 in terms of top 100 universities in the UK. It stands 56th position as per the Guardian League table, and it's a great town, Bournemouth. Again, most beautiful and historic areas of the United Kingdom. You can travel by London, travel to London by train. So Bournemouth is a good university. MBA in Bournemouth University, again, it's 1 year full time, as I said, 2 years full time with an optional. I think they give like a 30-week placement, something, if I remember correctly. So 1 year you have MBA, but normally 1 year full time MBA, the fees is much bigger. But when you do a 2 years full time with an optional 30 weekend placement, so second year you get that 30-week placement. When you say 30-week placement, that is a paid placement. So that's MBA in Bournemouth University. I mean, the entry requirements is normal. I think it's 2:2. I think, if I remember correctly, and of course you need a minimum 1 to 2 years of experience if you like to pursue MBA in Bournemouth University. I hope I have answered Roshan's questions. Any more?
Yes, we have a question from Parthiv. Saying, if my intake is in September, can I come to UK in the month of March and start working? So that's 6 months before the course start.
No, unfortunately, you can't do that. You're allowed to only come 3 months. 3 months prior. I mean, not even 3 months. Actually, you're allowed to come only 1 month before your visa starts. 1 month before your visa starts, you're allowed to come. But I don't know. I need to check the new immigration rules if they're allowed 3 months prior to it, or 3 months prior you need to apply, because now UK has moved to the points-based system. But as far as prior to 5th of October, you're allowed to come only a month before your course or your visa starts. So I'm unfortunately not 6 months. But sorry, what is the name of this student, Deepa?
Parthiv.
Pardik, yeah. So get the details of Pardik. I will write to him with more information. Okay.
Cool. Thank you. Have a question from Balachandra.
Balachandra. Okay.
I am an MTech machine design student and have interest in doing research abroad.
I think Balachandra, good question, but I think we need to have a separate session on this. because it's a very extensive, it's a very it's a very specific question, which we need to do a lot of analysis as well. So need to check with universities do machine design, and especially I know this is mechanical engineering subject. But Balachandra, again, if you don't mind, I'll get back to you after this webinar. I'll do a more analysis and see which universities do and what are the job opportunities and what are the research opportunities after that as well, especially because these are specialist subjects. So Balachandra, we'll get back to you. Thank you for asking me that question.
We have Phil Biju asking, is it possible for Indian students to do apprenticeships, which usually have around 40 working hours in England?
Apprenticeship is a different thing, because especially for international students, there are some of the courses which they do apprenticeship programs, but apprenticeship programs is more for the local students. Is more for the local students, not for the international students. International students, you get basically you get for placement years. Like if instead of doing 3 years degree, undergraduate degree, you can do 4 years undergraduate degree. Then that 4th year will be a placement. And in terms of postgraduate degree, instead of doing 1 year degree, you can do 2 years degree. The second year will be a placement. But in terms of apprenticeship, usually have 40 working hours. The normal standard working hours is 40 in England, right? So people even work 50 hours and 60 hours, 40 hours. But in terms of apprenticeship, I think I need to get back to you on this as well. If you don't mind, I will provide you more information on this, because I'm not 100% sure, because I mean, our students mostly, they either come for a taught or full-time taught or research degree 1 year, or they choose, if they want work placement, they choose 2 years. So I need to check on the apprenticeships. Right. Next, Deep.
I think we have another question from Balchandra itself, but we'll be in touch with Balchandra. I think he's asking, what should his modus operandi be if he's a first year MTech student currently? So I think we'll be in touch with Balchandra anyway regarding his research opportunities.
Okay, Master of Technology, MTech you're doing, which actually I have, probably Dr. Abhilash knows, we have a couple of students who have done masters and they want to do now, research, postgraduate qualification research in the UK, just because you have that 2-year post-study work window to gain experience and also progress their, studies to PhD as well. So Balchandran, we'll get back to you on this one. But if you have a MTech, only the thing I can say is you will not have any special provisions in terms of doing masters. If you're looking at the 2-year post-study work, you want to work in the UK for 2 years, the standard route is you need to do a 1 year full-time, whether it's a MSc, MA taught course or research course. If you're thinking to go and do a PhD, so there's no harm in coming back to the UK and do your MA 1 year taught postgraduate degree. Then you can work for 2 years. That 2 years could be in any university, research-based institutes or companies or any. Then that will further progress you, what you call, in terms of doing a PhD, if you would like to do a PhD. But doing that MTech will not give you, or maybe it will help you in getting enrolled into a top university. Because when the university scrutinize applications, they will look at how much percentage you have got in your undergraduate degree, your Bachelor of Technology, and what is your English proficiency test score, and have you got any other qualifications, like in terms of, have you got any master's qualifications, right? Even if you're applying for master, have you got any other qualifications? So this top tier 1 universities, I've shown you the top 20 universities, for example, Oxford, Cambridge, and UCL, and Edinburgh, etc. These universities, they look at and see, okay, fine, this student has already got his BTech, but he's already got his MTech. Okay, fine. Even if his percentage is less in terms of his bachelor's, but still he's got masters, so he will be able to cope with our course. Because the tier 1 universities programs are very, 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 they have tight deadlines and there's a lot of work to be done as well. So they're not easy. So they probably every university gets about 2,000 to 3,000 applications. I'm talking about the tier 1 universities, top 20 universities, and out of 2 to 3,000 applications, they can only offer, because they have to keep the cultural diversity as well. They cannot offer, if they have 50 seats, they cannot offer out of 50 40 seats to Indians, and the other 10 they can't give it to Chinese and other students, because they have to keep that cultural diversity. So every country has got a limit. In that instance, Balachandran, if you got an MTech, then they will think that, okay, we have a right student, he will be able to cope with the demand of our program, and it'll be easy for you to you will get a priority in terms of getting admission into the top university. Thank you, Balachandran, but I'll get back to you regarding other question. Deepa,
Okay.
any more?
Yeah, just a couple more. So let's just quickly wrap it up. Anjali is asking, I want to join for an MS program in civil engineering in UK.
It's a good choice, MSc in civil engineering. There are a lot of universities done as well, like I remember UCL does, University of College London does. You have University of Glasgow, Birmingham, University of East London, you have Sheffield University, and you have City University as well. Yes, you should be able to do an MSc program in civil engineering, and it's a 1 year again taught course. And after that, you said what is the student's name, Deep?
Anjali.
Anjali, after 1 year of your MSc in civil engineering here in the UK, you'll be eligible again for the 2-year post-study work, and there are job opportunities in terms of civil engineering as well.
Okay, thank you. One last question.
Far away.
Abdul is asking, can a person who has done graduation in BBA in India change career and study BVet Med in UK?
That's you read that question again, Deepa. Is it veterinary, he said?
Yes, I think it's BVet MED in UK. So BVet MED in UK.
Okay, that's veterinary medicine, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this is a tricky question because these are specialized. These are specialisms like medicine and veterinary medicine and anything. These are specialist ones. And for these ones, I think, unfortunately, they will ask you a relevant degree in your undergraduation. A relevant a relevant course in that, for example, like if you're going to medicine, they will ask you, you need to do your MBBS before you go to do MD or MSN. So these are specialisms, and I think it'll be extremely difficult for Abdul. Is it Abdul?
Yes.
Extremely difficult for Abdul to convince the universities after doing BBA why you want to go and do a veterinary medicine. But Abdul, I think there might be some foundation programs some universities run. You will have to do 1 year foundation program relevant to that veterinary medicine, and after you pass out, if you qualify that foundation program run by that particular university, then you will be eligible to study in that university. But again, Abdul, it's a good question. It's a complicated question, but it's a good question. I will find out and let me do a bit of analysis. Then I'll get back to you on that. Any more, Deepa?
No, I think that's it. Thank you. I would now hand it over to Deepti to do a vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to the organizers of this webinar. I would like to thank the speaker, Mr. Sridhar Rao Sangha from UK Academic Consultancy Limited, for delivering a very useful and first of its kind webinar on UK higher education and career opportunities post-Brexit and COVID-19 pandemic. I would also like to thank Dr. Abhilash Suryan from College of Engineering, Trivandrum, Kerala, for convening and coordinating such a useful webinar for the students of CET and other colleges. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants who made the webinar a grand success. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Deepti.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Abhilash. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Deepti.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Students, you can sign off now, but please do fill in the feedback forms. Thank you. Thank you all. Stay safe.